There we go. Hi there. Yay. Okay, it worked. All right. So I'm going live on several platforms, and you can probably tell I don't have any makeup on, which is kind of unusual. Well, I suppose it's becoming more usual for me. I just got back from the ARC conference, and while I was taking off my makeup, I thought, I should do a live and let you guys in on a little bit of what just happened at the ARC conference, because this was an amazing day. And so I was looking forward to this for a very long time. I went to the first one, which was back in 2023. I have since learned that they had like a mini one in Germany where Americans weren't invited. Okay, fine. I don't feel too bad, but maybe just a little bit. But anyway, this one started off with a bang. And so I just want to share some night. Thank you for the comment, Kimmy the Diva. I love your moniker. And thank you also to Cindy. You guys are really sweet. I want to share with you some of my notes, some of my takeaways from this conference. So I sit here with my computer, my laptop, listening to everything. And Oz Guinness said this, and I just love it. Contrast is the mother of clarity. Like, sit with that for just a minute. Like, that's just beautiful. And I was so busy writing that down. He said something that coordinated with, I think, gratitude, but I didn't catch the second half. So I'm supposed to have lunch with him on Wednesday. I'm very excited. So I'm going to have him, I'm going to ask him to finish that point. But we talked about how it used to be in our culture that our point of unity was faith. And we have lost that. And that is a sacrifice that we should not be willing to make, because we have nothing without faith. We have nothing. Our faith is what informs Western culture. And you can be without faith and still be of our culture, but our culture wouldn't be here without the faith community and people of faith that basically crafted this culture, which is the entrepreneurial spirit and the free market spirit and the freedom to believe what you want spirit that was created by the faith community. And the non-faith community doesn't have that spirit, even though many people who have no faith believe in it. They have no basis for it. So they have no argument to make for it, except they think that it's better. But they'll be shouted down by people who think that it's not better. I hope I'm making sense. So that was part of this. Let me see, because I want to keep up on comments as well. Okay, cool. All right, great. And I would love to hear your comments on this also, because I always consider these things a discussion, right? We heard music, some really beautiful music. There was a song about fatherhood, because they wanted to focus briefly, ever so briefly, on the importance of fathers. Now, the thing that they haven't connected, and look, there are a lot of dots to connect. Let's face it. It's a very big, complicated thing. Hello, Anne Marie. It's a very big, complicated thing that we're dealing with. We're trying to figure out how to tell a better story. So the first conference, that was the theme: tell a better story. And now they're trying to bring the story to us and to augment the story with us, in a sense. I don't know if we've talked about this before, but you are the story that you tell yourself about yourself. You become that. So please speak nicely to yourselves, and shut down those voices that are speaking mean to you in your head, in your own head. Shut them down. Tell them they have no place for that. Okay? There is forgiveness, there is repentance, and there is grace. And we need to live with that mantra, or we get stuck inside ourselves in a bad place. So we started the conference with Philippa Stroud, Baroness Philippa Stroud, and she said it's time to reclaim our heritage in the light of existential threats. So it's one thing that we need to reclaim our heritage, because we're sort of foundering a little bit. But not only that, there are threats. And so there's now hurry. We need to hurry this up a bit. And that's why I probably why I felt the need to like, let me go live and just talk about this a little bit and flesh a little bit out. I've got like 8 pages of notes. I have 8 pages of notes. This isn't like the whole thing. This is just the note version, the shorthand version. Kimmy Badenoch, who is was in the parliament, talked about how youth now embrace totalitarianism, but they don't understand what they're praying for. Like, they want it, but they really don't have any concept of it. They've just been sold a story about it, and the story's wrong. And by the way, like, I'm not even, anyway, it doesn't matter. I am so cold, guys. London is freezing, and we're in this enormous room that has like no heat. They're expecting 4,000 people to heat the room, so they keep it cold on purpose so that we don't overheat. But that's not likely to happen because it is very, very cold, very cold. And so I just got back to my hotel, and the only thing I wanted to do was like put on a warm sweater and curl up. Please explain contrast versus clarity point. I am so glad you asked, because this is a brilliant, brilliant point. And I was so keen to write it down. So contrast is the mother of clarity. And I talked with Lee Bortons over lunch, and she said she's gonna use it and change it. And she said, comparison is the mother of clarity, which I didn't want to push back. I think that might be a little bit misleading. So it needs more clarification. I get you. So contrast, when you see two things next to each other, so you see the contrast, when you experience, like, these are the differences right here, then you get a clearer vision of what we're talking about. So when you see the image of the Earth, just go online and Google the Earth's map at night. I think that'll probably bring it up. And you will see where the lights are and where it's dark. And then you have to go, well, what is the difference between those areas? And the difference is economic freedom and poverty. Economic freedom turns the lights on because people have enough energy, right? One of the focuses of the conference is, what are we going to do about the energy crisis? Not that we have an energy crisis, but we are imposing an energy crisis on third world countries because we're saying, stop burning fossil fuels. How dare we, frankly? How dare we? And Magat Wade, who is from, I'm sorry, Africa, can't remember, Congo? I think she's Congolese. She brought some fire to the stage. She was amazing. She was like, keep your hands off our fuel. Stop telling us that we are not allowed, which is what the West does. I would say the liberal leftists in the West. So, for instance, and I know I'm like talking a lot, and you're just going to get it, and then you can turn it off if you want. We sprayed DDT in the streets. We literally, like, kids would run behind the trucks just spraying DDT because we needed to eradicate the mosquitoes that cause malaria. So we did it in Texas, in the South. We did it in this nation. And we had no qualms about doing it because nobody had a problem with DDT until a ridiculous book came out and said, oh, DDT's bad, and we're killing birds, and we're making their egg shells soft. I don't know if you remember that. And so now what we've said to Africa is, you may not spray DDT. Really what we said is, you're not good enough to deserve DDT. But I'll tell you what, Bill Gates is going to ship you a whole bunch of mosquito nets. And the problem with mosquito nets is it's maybe one to a family. So the whole family has to curl up and sleep under the mosquito nets. And if the little 3-year-old's leg slips outside the netting and he gets bitten by a mosquito and he gets malaria, he dies. Because we're saving them from the DDT problem. We did it. We're fine, but they don't get it. And we're doing the same thing with fossil fuels. No, the Earth is warming. We've got global climate change, or whatever, story that they make up, that they're telling themselves, okay? And it's not that they don't believe it, but it's a lie. And then they say, but you have to abide by these rules. So anyway, contrast is the mother of clarity. When you look at the contrast, it will become more clear who's right, who's wrong, what's better, what's worse, what works, what doesn't work. I hope that clarifies it for you. And then I'm going to get the second half of it because I need the second half. The presence of good fathers is so crucial in the lives of every child and family unit. Thank you. A New Thing Live. Every child and family unit. It's one of the reasons for the downward spiral of our nation, among other things. So I love that. It's absolutely true. And then we have to go to first causes. And there are a few first causes for the downfall of fatherhood. The feminist movement, unfortunately, is one of the first movers in the downfall of fatherhood because we have denigrated men and we have elevated women to the level of men. And it's improper because in the end result is that both sectors, sexes, whatever you want to call them, are decimated from it. But the absence of fathers, so I've heard it put this way: when a father roughhouses with his kids, he's big and strong, and they are not. And so he plays with them in a way that forces them to discover their strengths, but does not allow them necessarily to win until he allows them to win. And this teaches them temperance and tolerance. And it teaches them also, because they need to have good behavior to earn the playtime with dad. And I'm speaking in like broad strokes here, but because they need the good behavior to earn the playtime with dad, because dad's kind of like, he's not a pushover. He doesn't just, do whatever anybody says or whatever, because he's a guy. It teaches them postponement of gratification, postponing, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, Saban's on. Hi, Saban. Got it. Okay, hold on. I gotta finish this. Postponing self, fulfillment. And when you can postpone your dream long enough to sort of earn enough to gain the bigger dream, that's the key to success. And without the father in the house, the children are less likely to learn that very crucial lesson, which is necessary for success, because you must sacrifice the now for the future if you want to have success. But if you have immediate gratification, and that's how you function in your life, then you end up in the streets. Like, you end up with nothing because you're not willing to sacrifice anything for the future. And so your future is decimated. So that's the real cost. There's other costs, but that's one of the real costs that's sort of intangible. It's difficult to put your finger on it. Also, just the idea that men can't, that boys don't learn how to be men. Like, they don't have role models to learn how to be men. But the culture does a tremendous job of decimating manhood anyway. Incidentally, my son is coming out with his second book very soon. I'm very proud of him. It's called Embrace Masculinity. So be looking for that. Don't forget to go sign up for our emails on sorbostudios.com. And we will keep you informed on all of the goings on, including the book coming out, which will be soon. Okay. Can we apply it to new undiscovered areas like Bitcoin? How we compare when there's nothing like Bitcoin? Well, there is something like Bitcoin. It's called money. And the predecessor to money is gold. And so we don't have a very good understanding in our culture of money. Why? Because we went to school, unfortunately, right? If we didn't go to school, we would have been curious enough to figure out money. But we went to school, so we were distracted by the mundane into a disgust for learning, a disgust for discovery, a disgust for curiosity, all of those things. Okay, so what is money? Money is the storing of energy over time and space. So energy, work product, your energy devoted to something, and you get paid. You get paid in money. You don't get paid in chickens. Chickens would be maybe nice, but you don't want it all in chickens, and your employer doesn't want to like break it up into 5 chickens and 2 sides of beef and a cow or whatever, right? So you get money. Your money is a storage of your energy in time. So the money will last a lot longer, say, than the chicken. It's not going to give you eggs, but it will allow you to buy eggs. It's not going to give you chicken nuggets, but it will allow you to buy chicken nuggets next week or next month. Whereas a chicken, especially if it's a dead chicken, won't last that long. So, but it's also over space. So gold was the storing of money, of energy over time, because gold lasted, and then you could exchange it, but you're going to carry a big gold bar around, and then that becomes very cumbersome. And so that's space. So it's hard to transport, but money is easy to transport. Digital currency is then, and we have digital currency. You have digital currency right now. You have a bank account. Your money is digitized. The digital currency takes it to the next step. Bitcoin was like the preeminent, right? Bitcoin came along, and the definition of Bitcoin is there are only this many of them. And the reason that that's valuable is right now our government is just printing money. It's just printing it. You want more money? We're going to send more money to Ukraine. We'll just print it. That devalues the money that you have in your bank. It devalues it. They have cut your dollar maybe in half in the last 8 years or 4 years or whatever. Maybe not in half, but by 30% or whatever. That's what inflation is. When there's more money, then things cost more because there's more money. So how do we compare? We look at the various vehicles that we have for storing our energy over space and time, and we decide what the best way forward is. Some people say stocks. Some people say real estate. Real estate, very difficult to transport, but you can buy and trade it. And so some people say real estate. And if you own, for instance, a rental property, then you're drawing income from your real estate if you're running it properly. And so that's a different way of storing money. So I hope that helps. I feel like I've gone off on a tangent. They want to destroy the nuclear family. They've destroyed the nuclear family. We're done. Like the nuclear family. I want to bring it back. Now there's some verbiage out there about the nuclear family. I'm not parsing words like that because there's some like the nuclear family, became this image of dad and mom sitting at the kitchen table with a little boy and a little girl. I mean the extended family. I mean the relationship of the family. And I want to see a resurgence of big families, big homes, kids not moving far away, grandbabies around, great grandparents. Like I have a vision for the nation that will recapture what the country used to be, but it starts with the family. Let's see, delayed gratification. Okay, I think I said that. Thank you. We definitely need good fathers. Postpone instant gratification for long-term gains. Oh, that's the question. I hope I explained that. That's funny. Braden Sorbo's new book, Embrace Masculinity. Yes, it's actually, she's reminding me, we have it for pre-sale right now on sorbostudios.com. You can buy it for any young man, maybe a young man who's graduating high school or graduating college as a graduation gift or a birthday gift or a Valentine's Day gift, although it'll be, late, or a Father's Day gift if, he's been up to some stuff. Anyway, it's a great gift. It's true. Okay, back to my notes. And I'm not going to go through all of this. Okay, I just want to tell you one other thing, because there was a lot. And as you can see, I'm like super hyped, but I'm very excited because it's funny. I leaned over to Kevin because I dragged Kevin to this year. Well, he wanted to come. I didn't really drag him, but I leaned over to him this afternoon, and I said, "This feeds me." He goes, "I know." He knows me too well. Okay. I was walking the hall, and I posted this video already, and this kid runs up. He's a tall young man. He's much taller than me. He's taller than Kevin, actually. And I thought for sure he was coming up to me because I was walking with Kevin. And he says, Sam, I have to talk to you. And I'm like, what, me? He says, thank you so much for your videos. I've been following you for a long time. And I'm like, what? not that I don't, but it's just kind of like, this is unusual. And I said, explain. He said, you're the person who told me that I wasn't just completely off my rocker for being so depressed and angry and unhappy with my life, with school, with everything, that I wasn't the person in the wrong. Sorry. He made me so happy. Our schools do such unintentional collateral damage. And we have no idea. And the reason we have no idea is because we personalize the failures and we corporatize the success. And so we think there's nothing wrong with schools. What's wrong is the kids who don't get along in school. And that's incorrect. And it does children a tremendous disservice, So I think maybe I'll leave it there. I'm not seeing, if people are commenting on Instagram, I guess I'm not, or not Instagram, I'm seeing Instagram. I think I'm not seeing other comments. Anyway, so that's it. Sorry, it's been a long day. I guess I'm tired. Well, I know I'm tired because I've got jet lag and the whole thing, but this has really been amazing. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll try to do another update tomorrow. I waited till Kevin ran off to the gym. He needed the gym and I needed to do this. So this is how we work it out. And I wish you all a wonderful evening and thanks for tuning in. And hopefully I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye. From London.